Okay, you guys, another Tuesday, another team training. We do this every Tuesday or most every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we go through things that will help you build your business, whether you're trying to get traction, whether you're trying to grow, build, scale, whatever you're trying to do. We've got training that can help you. And then on top of that, we also mix in personal professional development to help you get ahead. So we've got some great training for you today. Before we get into today's training, we always like to review what we did last week. Last week, we started a multi-week series on the four C's. Remember, it's contacts, communication, calendar appointments, contracts. That's all the flow is. Very easy. Once you master that, you're on your way. Teach other people. You're on your way to distribution. So last week, we concentrated on the contacts, which is the first C that drives every successful agent. If you have no contacts, you have no leads. If you have no leads, you have no booked appointments, no cash flow. So remember, everything starts with contacts. Your CRM is hungry. It always wants to be fed contacts. We talked about who those contacts are, where to find them last week, and that bridges into what we're going to be talking about today, which is second C. Second C is communication. So once you've created a contact, now you have to communicate with him. What are you communicating them for? Only one reason: to drive them to calendar appointments. If they don't want the calendar appointment, to drive them off, meaning stop, unsubscribe, don't want any more information from you. Those are the ultimate goals that we're trying to accomplish in communication, is to create a calendar appointment. That's first. If you can't create a calendar appointment, get them to opt out. So this is turning contacts into conversations that drive calendar appointments. So this is all just on the backs of each one. If you have contacts and if you have effective communication, you will get calendar appointments. Those calendar appointments, if you do the presentations correctly, will create contracts in terms of clients and partners. All right, you guys. So when you're looking at our business and you're looking at the industry, last week we learned contacts are the raw material for your business. And that's very, very important. But what do you do with that raw material? Now that I have a contact, what do I do with them? The answer is very, very simple. You communicate, but not randomly, not occasionally, not just when you need a sale and feeling stress of the business, but communication is a deliberate system designed to move people towards one destination: the calendar. You start filling up your calendar and you get good at the presentations, or if somebody's doing them for you, contracts will follow. All right, you guys. So the purpose of communication, most agents think communication is about selling. It isn't. And once you digest that, it's a lot easier to understand how this all works. Communication exists to build familiarity, build trust, create curiosity, start conversations, qualify interest, and ultimately schedule those calendar appointments. The sale does not happen in a text message. The sale does not happen in a Facebook comment. The sale does not happen in the first phone call. The purpose of communication is to earn the appointment, is to get the calendar. That's all the communication is trying to drive: calendar appointments, not sales, not recruits, not clients, but calendar appointments. So I've divided this into part. Part one is the communication mindset. You need to stop selling, start serving. This is a relationship business. Once you understand that, you're not a salesperson, you're not an insurance agent, you're an advisor, educator, consultant, teacher, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, coach. When you start or stop selling and start serving and understand this relationship business, things start to happen for you. Every interaction should answer one question: how can I provide value? If you start to get in that mindset, things start to happen for your business. People hate to be sold. People enjoy learning, at least the right ones, enjoy learning. Those are the ones that we're actually trying to attract into our ecosystem. People appreciate help, and great communication educates before it persuades. So you have to lead with value. If you do, the results will follow. And once you see that start to happen, you understand, oh, this is an easy to follow system, and I can identify where the breaks are for myself and my agents. People first, value always, trust follows. So you need to build the relationship and you need to build the trust to create the conversations to earn those appointments. So when you're creating workflows and when you're doing the things that you need to do in the communication cycle, understand if something's constantly driving people to opt out a specific message, probably something wrong with that message. So you don't want to throw everything against the wall. You want to identify where the breaks are, where the kinks are, and then get rid of those. And then once you have the free flowing communication cycle, it should be driving calendar appointments. All right, part two of this process is what we call high tech, high touch formula. So you've got automated workflows that you should have in place. So once a contact goes in the CRM, you have automated workflows you should enroll them on. However, automated workflows can get stale and they lack the personal touch. So high tech is the CRM workflows, the email campaigns, the text campaigns, the appointment reminders, the automated follow-up, the educational sequences, all the things to stay top of mind and to stay consistent in the follow-up. High touch, personal phone calls, individual text messages outside the automated, voice notes, video message, social media engagement, handwritten notes, one-on-one follow-up. Combination of high tech and high touch is the 1-2 combination that will get this done. Automation creates consistency. Personalization creates the connection. Together, they can create the trust. All right, so part three, you guys, is the communication funnel. And just like we have the 4 C's, you have a communication funnel. And if there's problems in the funnel, you can identify where they are, fix those. But really, the contact is the top of the funnel. Then from there, you're creating awareness, curiosity, conversation, trust, and the combination of those 4 ingredients should produce calendar appointments. Those calendar appointments, when done correctly, should create recommendations, buying decisions, and partner enrollments or client sales. When the contact comes in, they enter your world. You capture their attention. When the awareness starts to happen, they see you. You're building visibility and familiarity. With the curiosity, they start to get interested. You spark their curiosity and plant ideas with the information they're receiving. Conversation is they're engaging with you. You're starting a meaningful conversation. That's going to build trust. They start to believe in you. You build the trust and the credibility that you need. Calendar appointment is the next step. You earn the call to action, which is the calendar appointment. The recommendation, you're delivering recommendations here based on problems. You're ushering in solutions and a decision. They say yes, you guide them to a decision. The communications job is to keep people moving. If you ever built a pipeline and just stare at the same person, the same pipeline stage all the time, that's where communication comes in. You're moving them down the pipeline stages to the next one. Part 4, 5 purposes of communication. You've got to build familiarity. People are going to buy from people they recognize. Stay visible, stay present, stay helpful. That's just top of mind, brand awareness, all those things. Create curiosity. Don't explain everything. If you do, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Invite them to the greatest call to action that I know of. Learn more. Would it surprise you if I told you? Most people don't realize I recently helped someone discover curiosity drives conversations. And then the conversations allow you to build credibility. You can share success stories, education, testimonials, industry insights, personal experience. As your business grows, get reviews, get user generated content, because if people can see that you're helping people like them, it does a lot to build that trust, rapport, credibility on the front side. Teach first, sell later. And then qualify interest. Not everyone is ready. Remember, this isn't a refrigerator. This isn't a new car where they buy it and they're done till they need another one. Standards of living, retirement planning, saving money, beating the banks, eliminating interest, all the things that we do is a constant need. So communication helps identify the curious people, the interested people, and ultimately the ready people that are ready at that time. Focus your time accordingly on the people that are ready. If you don't have anybody that's ready, go to the interested, go to the curious. But you can see how all these are building up to give you a pipeline of understanding about what to do next, which is just moving them to the next stage. Calendar appointments is where everything happens. The goal is movement. So every communication should move someone closer to a phone call, a Zoom meeting, a discovery session, a Q&A, a strategy review, moving them towards either a phone call or an online meeting. Online meeting is where most of the things happen, but if you schedule an online meeting and have a bunch of no-shows, that just means you haven't done enough, so you insert the discovery call in between leading up to the online meeting. Communicate with purpose, guys. Move people forward. That's all you're doing. You're not selling, you're not recruiting, you're just moving people forward on the pipelines. Part 5, automated communication. What should be automated? Anything that's not having to do with the relationship building. So welcoming sequences, lead nurturing, educational emails, text follow-up, appointment reminders, birthday messages, re-engagement campaigns, weekly newsletters. All of this should be automated. The more you automate your business, the more that you can concentrate on the other percentage that's not automated. So you understand the role of automation and the role of what you need to do on the manual side to build trust, rapport, credibility, move people to the next action step, the combination of high tech and high touch. The CRM should work even when you're asleep. And that's the beautiful part about it. If you have a lot of this technology and these tools in place, they're like employees. Those employees work 24/7. They don't need bathroom breaks. They don't need vacations. They're not arguing with family members or friends before work. They're just working 24/7. And then part six, you guys, is the manual communication. Remember, everything can't be automated. If it was automated 100%, we wouldn't need the agent. So there's a really important role that you play. It's called the human touch. What are those? Discovery calls, relationship building, voice notes, personal follow-up, referral requests, check-ins, congratulations, sympathy, celebrations. You are in a people business, a relationship building business. So when you look at the two sides of your business, high tech, high touch, what requires the human touch? It's all the things that you would think would need it. It's because the humans, as a human, we create the emotional connection. So that's what that's doing. The combination of the two should drive calendar appointments. Part seven, the communication pyramid. The closer someone gets to the top, the stronger the relationships come. Remember, a contact comes in enrolled on automation. Automation is just trying to get them to, take a next action step, opt out, whatever it might be. Social post, email, text conversation, voice messages, video meetings, phone calls. And you can see at each one of these, we're creating consistency, we're building visibility. This is like email is great for sharing information and value. We're not pitching, selling, or recruiting here. We're giving value-based propositions. Text conversations, fast, personal, convenient, keeps the conversation going. Voice messages. Guys, in today's world where so much is automated, little voice message is very, very powerful, adds warmth and a human touch to it. Face to face in the video meetings. This is building rapport, trust, credibility, understanding. You're getting to see the person, they're seeing you. You guys are having a real life conversation. And then phone calls. These are real time conversations that build the deepest connections. Stronger relationships are based on more trust, more opportunities, and more growth. When you look at the next section up here, frequency matters. Part 8 of the communication is frequency. Most agents have the same exact problem throughout the industry. Statistics say they quit too early. One message rarely creates a client, rarely creates a partner. Commitment gets it started. Consistency actually will help you finish it and win. So when you're looking at the communication cycle here and the frequency, all of this in the automated, once you set up, you're just enrolling people on there. You're replying back to their replies, getting them a calendar appointment, getting them the information, answering questions. So this is just an example here, but you want to be top of mind. You want to create brand awareness, and you want to create a framework and a system that has persistence without pressure. It's one thing to stay in front of people. It's one thing to stay in front of people constantly badgering them, pestering them. They're going to tune out. So what you want to do is create value, create rapport, trust, credibility, and be persistent and be consistent in the frequency without pressure. People do not respond to pressure. A lot of people will break down from pressure, paralyzes them. They respond to value. Stay consistent, stay helpful, and the right people respond. You don't need everybody on the client side. You don't need everybody on the partner side. You need the right clients and the right partners to build your business. Part 9, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your education or your communication should educate, teach and inform, share tips and strategies, offer market insight, highlight success stories, answer questions, build trust and credibility. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. If you create automated workflows and consistency and frequency and persistency in your communication on the automated side, and you adhere to this stuff, then a lot of people will find this valuable, educational, the education, the information. They will move to calendar appointments based on what you shared with them. So 80% of the communication should educate, 20% of the communication should invite action. Invite to a call, schedule an appointment, set up a meeting, continue the conversation, ask if they're ready for help. A lot of times just asking if they're ready to take the next action step, if they're ready for a meeting. A lot of agents don't ask. If you just ask the question, it demands a response, right? Make it easy for people to take the next action step. People don't unsubscribe from value. They unsubscribe from constant selling. Part 10 of this is what you should talk about. There's a lot you should talk about. Financial education, industry updates, stories, client wins, frequently asked questions, videos, guides, free tools, life events, business growth. All of these are designed to constantly stay in front of people with value. People don't need more sales pitches. This is what they hear all day, every day, online, offline, robocalls, all of these things they're pestered with. They need more reasons to trust you. That is the biggest thing that you're going to have to overcome in this industry is the trust, rapport, and credibility. You can build that with online content and other stuff that you're doing, great. If not, it's going to have to be done in the discovery calls, in the communication flows, in the online meetings. This is the communication mistakes, part 11. So avoid these common mistakes that weaken relationships and kill the results. It's not about you guys. Talking too much is a killer of movement. So listen more than you talk. Explaining products too early is a bad, bad sign. Focus on people and problems first, not features and benefits. You're going to sell them a solution to their problems, not a product. A product is just the engine of that strategy, solution, or system. Being transactional, you don't want to do that. People want relationships, not transactions, especially today in this environment with so much, AI, digital, automated, all this stuff. They want to build relationships. Number 4, only reaching out when you need something. Stay in touch to add value, not just to ask for it. Number 5, giving up after one attempt. Most agents in this industry, after I think it's about 80%, don't make follow-ups past the second. When most of the transactions are happening the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th, most no responses mean not yet. Persistency wins. Sounding robotic, guys. We are a human. Make sure you sound human. People can tell when you're using scripts. Be natural, be human. Do you need a script? You better believe it. Do you need to learn that script for the information first, then the transitions, and then to make it sound, interactional or not transactional, but communicative and relationship building? Inconsistent follow-up. It's going to kill you guys in your business, and your growth, your revenue, and income. Inconsistency creates confusion. Consistency builds trust. And then trying to close instead of qualify. You're not a salesperson. It's not your job to close somebody. The goal is not to close everyone. The goal is to help the right people. If you try to sell to everyone, your business is going to be chaotic. If you have a persona, you're dealing with that persona consistently, your business is going to be very easy to manage. Great communication is about service, not pressure. Be helpful, be consistent, and most of all, be human. Part 12, these are the KPIs. What are KPIs? Key performance indicators. It's what you need to look out for to help you understand if your business is expanding or contracting, growing or dying. Number 1 is conversation started. New conversations are the starting point for every single relationship. Text sent. Consistent text helps keep, top of mind, build connection. Phone calls made, emails sent, replies received. Replies show interest and move people forward. If you're sending out a bunch of stuff and getting no replies back, probably the information is not right, but you don't want to just throw everything against the wall. If you're having problems, fix small things and then fix other small things until you fix the overall framework. Appointment schedule. Remember, appointment scheduled is the key that kind of starts the engine for revenue growth and everything you're looking for. Response rate and show rate. If you do all the things that you need to do, you're building value, you're creating relationships, trust, rapport, credibility, and your show rate is very low, that just means that something's happening. Most of the time, if you're moving somebody from a communication to an online meeting and the show rate is or no show rate is very high, you need to put a buffer. You need to put a discovery call or something in between that to build the value, build the relationship to get them to show up. You want to, and this is another thing that will help you guys, when you have online meetings, you want enough automated workflows and even the human touch to remind them and notify them about that meeting so that you're increasing the number of reschedules, you're increasing the number of cancels, you're increasing the number of shows, and you're decreasing the number of no-shows. Reschedules and cancels are a lot better than a no-show. Track it, measure it, improve it. Part 13, the communication audit. Ask yourself, how many people heard from me this week? If it's little to none, that's why you're making little to nothing money. Number 2, how many conversations did I start? How many appointments did that result in? How many workflows are active? If you've got a CRM, you've got 0 active workflows, then your CRM is not even being used properly. Get with us. Let us help you with this. Where am I relying too much on automation and where am I relying too much on the manual effort? Remember, 80-20, 80% is automated, 20% is the manual touch. Audit, adjust, and improve. Just like everything that somebody will want to do in their life, whether it's professionally or personally, figure out what's going on, do a self inventory, do a self audit, adjust, learn from your strengths and your weaknesses, and improve. Small changes in communication create big changes in your business. Better communication means better connections, and that means better results. So, in closing for today, guys, contacts without communication is a forgotten contact. And then there's no way, if a contact is forgotten, to move them down a pipeline. Communication without a calendar becomes wasted effort. It's not talking for the sake of talking, it's talking and communicating to drive them to a next action step. Effective communication creates momentum. So when you're looking at this, momentum creates appointments. Appointments create contracts. Contracts create income growth and equity. Income growth and equity build your future, build your asset, build your personal assets, right? So contacts, communication, calendar, contracts. The 4 C's is all you got to master. Master communication, you multiply the value of every single contact that you generate. So next week, guys, we're going to continue this multi-week series. We're going to go with number 3, which is calendar appointments. So how conversations become appointments, discovery calls, online meetings, Q&A, and ultimately the opportunities that drive client acquisition and partner enrollment. The calendar is the bridge between interest and impact. So you want to master your calendar, you master your results. So once you master contacts, once you master communication, we'll teach you how to master the calendar next week. Week after that, we'll do contracts.